Hello, how are you guys? Thank you for being there. This is Mundo Maldini, your channel. I want to analyze in depth the match that Jude Bellingham played against the Republic of Ireland. He had a spectacular match. You have a video right after the match. But a day and a half has passed since the game, and I have been watching the match again, analyzing a bit of what he did, especially in the second half. And I want to make this video that I have called Bellingham Masterclass because it was honestly a spectacular second half, and talking a little about what he can start doing again at Real Madrid because his season so far has not been good. Obviously, it is not going well for him at Real Madrid, but I believe that in these two matches against Greece and Ireland, I have seen a much more participative and much more creative Bellingham in all the dangerous areas of the field. And the truth is that in the match against Ireland, Jude Bellingham was a spectacle. It was a spectacle. I want to show you this first, as we also have the minis available from here, for example, of Jude Bellingham. Here you have it. Well, I leave you in the video description so you can see exactly. So you can buy these spectacular minis. The minis not only, let's see, they have many from Real Madrid, but not only from the main teams, from the main players, among coaches, all kinds of characters. For example, I have one here. I'm going to show it since I'm here. All kinds of characters, for example, I have Elvis Presley here, not to mention all of this is available, of course, for purchase, and I'll leave the link in the description. But what I want to do is analyze the spectacular match that Jude Bellingham had, because you are going to see some amazing stats. Come on, let's go. Well, while we sadly see that PSV has just scored, Alessandro Del Piero has just appeared. Here you have Del Piero chatting. I don't want to bother you by getting too close, but here we have Del Piero talking with Fabio Capello. I suppose you can see it. This is Abraham. Here on the right is Abraham. The other is Okafor, who is here. Theo Hernandez, who was going to be a starter. Watch out for the left wing of Milan with Theo Hernandez. And well, we have an absolute genius right in front of us. An absolute genius. One of my favorite players, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. The great Zlatan Ibrahimovic is right here, who is now involved with the club, of course. You just can't take your eyes off. Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He is looking at the Santiago Bernabeu, which, to be honest, this stadium is absolutely crazy. Well, let's go, friends of Mundo Maldini. I have prepared some captures for you to see a bit where Jude Bellingham moved, everything he generated against Ireland, because it was spectacular, I insist. It was really spectacular. And then you will see the Wyscout report so you can take a look. Let's first look at the report. Let's first see, I had planned to do it differently, but we are going to do it this way. It just occurred to me. Let's first do the Wyscout report so you can see exactly. Here we have Bellingham against Ireland, 128 actions. This is outrageous. 128 actions practically all over the field, because if not, 128 actions is very difficult. 89 successful passes out of 84 attempted. 89%. 89% of successful passes out of the 94 he attempted. He got 84 right, 12 dribbles, 3 successful, 4 crosses. Well, actually, 4 shots. It's true that none were on target, but above all, the influence he had, the influence Jude Bellingham had, you will see here with the actions on the field, which I always say is very important. Look at where Jude Bellingham moved, in which areas he moved, through the thirds of the field, first and second half. In the area, he loses actions. It's true, in the final meters, but everything he generated was spectacular. Everything Jude Bellingham generated. Then I want to do something with Statsbomb as well that I think you will like, but everything Jude Bellingham generated was absolutely outrageous. Absolutely outrageous, friends of Mundo Maldini. We can also see, for example, with Carthy Jones, which you will see now, 38 passes with Carthy Jones, who was the double pivot of the national team, Carthy Jones. With Jude Bellingham permanently ahead, in reality, it was Carthy Jones, Gallagher in the double pivot, and Bellingham, who came back to receive and almost played at times, very close to Jones, with Gallagher getting much more into the attack as well. But you see, with Hall 29 passes, with Gordon 19 passes, with Gallagher 14 passes. Notice that with Carthy Jones 38 and with Gallagher 14. This shows what I am saying, that many times Gallagher went much further up than Jude Bellingham. But I have prepared some captures from the match so we can take a little look and analyze in depth what Jude Bellingham did. For example, in this play, this is Jude Bellingham in pure form. He is receiving the ball from Carthy Jones, and Jude Bellingham quickly comes to help. From the midfield, he comes practically from the base of the midfield and ends up here. This is the same play. He arrives from here and ends up here, logically to grab the ball and start organizing England's play. Jude Bellingham did this a lot permanently. That's why he played on both wings, practically in the attacking midfield. And then he provided 2 assists and caused a penalty. Here we have another play of his, a quite natural position for him. This is still the first half. Notice how on the left side, he goes down the left flank. It's Gordon who goes into space and sends a ball into space. All of this Jude Bellingham did in the match. You have seen it, but he is a playmaker, a number 10. Because he is a number 10, here you have him. But at the base of the midfield next to Carthy Jones, and here you will see it is perfectly clear how Gallagher plays ahead. And Gallagher, who scored his first goal with the national team, pushes much more into the attack. Jude Bellingham did this quite a bit. He did this quite a bit in the midfield, and Gallagher pushing forward into the attack. I want us to see more things, friends from Mundo Malin. Then we will look at the topic of the spectacular off-the-ball movements that Jude Bellingham made. And above all, I think the English national team played a great match, a great second half. Fundamentally, here we have England's core, but I believe that between Harry Kane and Bellingham, they destroyed Ireland. They were by far the two best who tore apart Ireland. Here we have another image of Jude Bellingham, and it is true that Harry Kane also created the play for the first goal. You will see it. It is a spectacular off-the-ball movement by Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham has one thing, well, he has many things, but one of them is the intuition he has to get into positions where he knows he will create danger. That is something Jude Bellingham has, and it is something very difficult to possess. And he has it. For example, this is the play that led to the penalty. It was still 0-0. Here you see it. Look at Harry Kane's pass. It is spectacular. But of course, Jude Bellingham's reading, quickly moving to the area, is key. Jude Bellingham starts from much further back and quickly goes to the area where he knows Harry Kane's pass will land, or Harry Kane has to place it as he does. For example, here you see how he runs over here and arrives just in that area. Harry Kane's pass is spectacular, and then here in the box, Jude Bellingham makes a cut, and he is clearly fouled for a penalty. This is what Jude Bellingham did yesterday. Let's see it again. Look from here. 2009 gets caught in the off-the-ball movement, reaches that position, and then makes that cut for the penalty that made it 1-0. Jude Bellingham did all that, and then, for example, he made this spectacular pass. Spectacular for Howard Bellis, who scores with a header. He also assisted Bowen, but fundamentally, this one is the fantastic pass. Look, with a touch almost millimetric, the ball curves perfectly to be a treat for Howard Bellis, who ends up finishing. Did Jude Bellingham do it all? He had a practically perfect match. Is Jude Bellingham going to do this at Real Madrid from now on? Well, we don't know that. Obviously, we don't know that. But certainly in these 2 matches with England, having a permanent role, moving away from the area, at many moments. I think Jude Bellingham has to forget about scoring so many goals like last season to understand that it is impossible. He should not obsess over getting into the area and scoring so many goals like what happened to him last season. We are going to see a much better version of Jude Bellingham. From now on, in these upcoming matches, I will be at Anfield commenting on the Liverpool versus Real Madrid match. That match is one of the top matches in these first months of the season. Real Madrid has a lot at stake, more than Liverpool, which is very well ranked in the Champions League. Then Madrid has to go to Bergamo and will need the best Jude Bellingham. They will need the best Jude Bellingham. We will see if they have it. I want us to see something else that is also spectacular. Friends of Mundo Maldini, also spectacular, is what Harry Kane is doing. You know, Harry Kane is an organizer, a goal scorer. He is everything, for Bayern Munich and also for the English national team. What you are seeing now is, with the friends from Statsbomb in the Champions League 24-25, what Bellingham has done so far, and what the average offensive midfielders, what they call attacking midfielders, have done. Here you have it, attacking midfielder. Well, this is exactly it. Jude Bellingham is in red and blue. He is the rest of the midfielders in the Champions League this season. Notice that. He is shooting less than the average of the offensive midfielders in the Champions. That is something Jude Bellingham needs to improve. He is touching the ball more in the area than the average, that is true. He is passing in terms of percentage of passes quite better. We are talking about offensive midfielders, attacking midfielders. We are not talking about central midfielders or players further back. Usand is making more passes. That is true. Much better than the average in terms of shots on goal, but in terms of goal opportunities. But above all, in terms of shots, he needs to shoot more. Jude Bellingham needs to shoot more. I think that is the big problem he is having. Here you have shots, 2.04 shots. while the average for offensive midfielders in the Champions League is 2.35. Socios Dion, that is something Jude Bellingham needs to improve. And here I am also going to show you another radar that I have prepared from the league also of midfielders. I insist, midfielders, as I have shown before, it only compares with players in the same position, logically. And logically, Jude Bellingham, who is in red, and the league average, which is in blue, well, Bellingham is superior to everyone, but I think quite a bit in the league, quite less superior than he should be, because here we are looking at all the midfielders from all the teams. Better in passing. Let's see, here you have it. Better in passing, better in deep progression. Here you have it in assists, in playmaking, in dribbling and all that. Better, but really not. Not much better, or not as it should be, considering he is a star midfielder of Real Madrid. In short, I think all of this was really worth it. It was a recital, it was a masterclass. As I showed you with Jude Bellingham, England played really well. Here we have this image of Bellingham, Gordon and Carthy Jones. Carthy Jones and Jude Bellingham will face each other soon in that match between Liverpool and Real Madrid. In short, I want your opinion in the comments. I know that you really like these videos, where I analyze individual performances, whether they are good or bad in matches. In this case, it has been good for Jude Bellingham, but we are going to do this quite a bit. A hug. Bye 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 bye.